Let's look at this set. Rathore, an army major, has a safe which contains important documents. The safe can be opened using a 6-digit numeric passcode. Each digit can be any number from 0 to 9. For security purpose, he changes the passcode every week in the following manner. He adds the first and second digits of his current passcode, the second and third digits, the third and fourth digits, the fourth and fifth digits, and the fifth and the sixth digits. The first sum is the first digit of his new passcode. The second sum is the second digit, and so on till the fifth sum, which is the fifth digit of his new passcode. Okay, so far we've been told, let's say if this is the old passcode, A, B, C, D, E, F. If this is the current passcode, next week's passcode will be A plus B, then B plus C, then C plus D, then D plus E, and E plus F. These will be the fifth digit of the new passcode. If any of the sums is greater than or equal to 10, he uses only the digits or units digit of the sum in his new passcode. Okay, so only units digit comes out even when two single digits are being added. And if you end up with a sum greater than 10, you use only the units digit. The sixth digit of his new passcode is same as the first digit of the current passcode. Okay, so the new passcode will be this. So if this is the current one, this is going to be the next one. Okay, if this is the current one, this is going to be the next one. This is what we are told. Not a lot to interpret, but okay. Let's get to individual questions. If the code of the safe during the particular week was 786958, what would have been the passcode 2 weeks earlier? Okay, so instead of moving from current to next, we have to move from the current to backwards. You have to go backwards. So this code that we are given, I'll write it here. 786958. The first digit in the previous, this is 1 week back. This is 1 week back. The digit out of these 6 that I can uniquely identify is 8. 8 is identified. Now 8 plus something gives me 7. Of course, B cannot be -1. So 8 plus something has to give me 17 and B has to be 9. Okay. 9 plus something has to give me unit digit as 8. C has to be 9. 9 plus something has to give me unit digit as 6. D has to be 7. 9 and 7. Sorry, 7 and something have to give me unit digit as 9. E has to be 2. 2 and something have to give me unit digit as 3. Okay. So if current week's password is this, prior week's password would be this. Now, let's work forward. When this was the current week's password, 8997. And now you have to figure out the week prior to that, because we needed the passcode 2 weeks earlier. Go back. This will be 3. Unit digit comes to the 4. Now 3 plus something gives me 8. So that something has to be 4. 5 plus something gives me 9. So that something has to be 4. 4 plus something gives me 9. So that something has to be 5. 5 plus something gives me 7. So that has to be 2. 2 plus something gives me 2 only. So F has to be 0. So the code 2 weeks earlier has to be 354520. Now in this solving, hopefully in this solving, you recognized 2 things. One, how you record data one under the other. It is useful. Secondly, see, I have the feature of being able to write it in different pens. I have the feature of being able to write it in different pens. You wouldn't. But even apart from that, hopefully you can see I've written one set of numbers while I was working backwards under the variables that we have identified, and the other set of numbers on top of the variables that we have identified. So even if you do it in order, something on the top, something at the bottom, and you maintain consistency in recording, it will be easier to manage when we are solving in the exam hall. Okay, getting rid of all this writing. Again, I have this ability, you don't. Next question. If the first 5 digits of the passcode during a particular week was 17718, which of the following could passcode 2 weeks earlier? Okay, the language doesn't make a lot of sense, but okay. Let's go. Let's try. This time, one, we have not been given the full passcode. You have not been given the full passcode. Additionally, we have options available now. The best way to check would be put down an option and check if I have 5, 6, 4, if I have 5, 6, 4, 7, 8, 9, the new passcode generated would be 1, 0, 1, 5, 7, and 5. This should, if this is the current week's, oh sorry, if this is the passcode 2 weeks ago, passcode 1 week ago would be this. Now the next week's passcode would be 1 plus 0, 1, 0 plus 1, 1. And right now itself, I see this is an unacceptable situation because I wanted the second digit of my passcode to be 1, 7. So this is gone. This is an unacceptable case. At this time, we have ruled out option A. Let us look at the second one. 7, 4, 1, 8, 6, 9. First digit is 1, second digit is 5. Here itself, you can see the first digit is 6. 1 plus 5 would give me 6, but I know my starting point has to be 1. So I can rule out this option also. This is also not the answer. Then let's go ahead and check. 3, 2, 4, 7, 9, 6. I have 5, I have 6, I have 1, I have 6, I have 5, I have 3. I have this, I have 1, 5, 6, I have 7, I have 7, I have 1, I have 8, and I have 5. And you can see these are the exact same 5 digits that the question demanded of us. So the correct answer here has to be option C. You simply plug in every option and check wherever you get your satisfactory condition. That has to be the answer. Next question now. During 2 consecutive weeks, Rathore realized that the passcode during the 2 weeks was the same. Which of the following can be the sum of the first 3 digits of the passcode? We see that from the first week to the second week, the passcode hasn't changed, which would mean A plus B is equal to A. A plus B is equal to A, or B is equal to 0. Even if you write this much down, this should give you an idea. What if all the digits here were 0? If everything was 0, the summation that you get here would also be 0. And this satisfies all the conditions stated in the question. The passcode for 2 consecutive weeks will be identical and nothing more was needed. So which of the following can be the sum of the first 3 digits of the passcode? 0 is perfectly all right. In case you were more willing to do the work, you can go ahead. A plus B is equal to 0. So B is equal to 0. B plus C is equal to B. So C is also equal to 0. Then this is also equal to 0. Basically, each of the subsequent variables will turn out to be 0. And F is equal to A. F is equal to A. So A will also turn out to be 0. You can do it equation wise. But as soon as you see that the first digit is turning out to be 0 in our reckoning, as soon as you see first digit is turning out to be 0 in our reckoning, then you can directly jump to the idea, okay, what if all the digits were 0? Some of us would be smart enough to jump to that idea without necessarily having to check any variable. But as soon as you get it for the first variable, after that, at least the jump should be there. Okay. If the last 5 digits of the passcode during a particular week was 5555, last 5 digits of a passcode during a particular week was 5555, how many possibilities exist for the passcode that he sets the next week? Last 5 digits are 5555. Okay. Let's say the digit here was X. Here I would get X plus 5. Here I would get 0. 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 And here I would get X. The new passcode that gets generated will be like this. Now, however many values X can take, those many possibilities will exist for the passcode next week. If X is 0, it would be 5 followed by 4 zeros followed by 5. If X was 1, it would be 6 followed by 4 zeros followed by 1. 7 and 8 and 9 and whatever it comes. Every time you change the value of X, you will get a new possibility. So how many possibilities exist for passcode that is X in the next week is equivalent to how many different values X can take. And that was mentioned. Each digit can be any number from 0 to 9. So there are 10 possibilities that exist for the passcode, and that is the entirety of the set. This is a very, very straightforward set. At the same time, representation in the right manner will reduce your work tremendously. That will be all.